Good morning, Vail, and welcome to your Monday, September 16th edition of Good Morning Vail. Today, I got a great show for you. We're going to talk to experts about the allergy season and whether or not it's a cold or if it's just allergies. We're going to make an awesome chocolate football recipe that you don't want to miss. And Avija Scarborough is going to talk to somebody who scaled Mount Everest. We have a great show. Don't go anywhere. Good Morning Vail starts right now.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Allergy season is upon us, and it's really tough to tell whether or not your stuffy nose is an allergy or if it's a cold. We're going to talk to an expert and get the hard facts on it. Let's check this out.
Thanks for having me. So how do you tell the difference between colds and allergies? Because it could be really confusing, right? Itchy eyes, runny nose, congestion, postnasal drip. So 3 easy ways to tell the difference. Number 1, allergies typically do not cause a fever or swollen lymph nodes. So if you have a fever or your neck is hurting and your glands are swollen, the likelihood is it's a cold. Number 2, the timing of your symptoms. Allergies happen after you're exposed to a trigger. So if it's when you're around your pet or right when you go outside or right when you wake up in the morning. Whereas with a cold, the symptoms will last throughout the course of the day and won't really wax or wane. Number 3 is the duration of your symptoms, how long it's lasting. So typically a cold lasts 7 to 10 days. Allergies can last weeks and even months, and fall allergy season lasts all the way up until the first frost. So what can we do about it? The first thing is to understand what your triggers are and then avoid those triggers. So if you're experiencing symptoms when you're around your pets, keep your pet outside of the bedroom. If you're experiencing symptoms when you're outside, when you come inside, you want to take off your shoes and leave them at the front door. You want to take off your clothes, throw them in the washing machine and wash them off. You want to take a shower, rinse off all that pollen. Have an air filter that's appropriate for the size of your home. Vacuum once a week with a HEPA vacuum. Wash your sheets once a week on the highest heat setting. Then when it comes to symptom management, I recommend an antihistamine like Zyrtec. Antihistamines block the release of a chemical called histamine from your allergy cells. And histamine is what's responsible for itching, swelling, redness, and congestion. I'm a big fan of Zyrtec Dissolve tablets because they dissolve instantly in your mouth and you don't need any water, so they're great for on the go. And they start within 1 hour and last for a full 24 hours. And they also have children's Zyrtec in a variety of forms and flavors, which provide 24-hour relief from indoor and outdoor allergies suitable for ages 2 and older. Now, if you have a cold, I cannot stress the importance of stress reduction, both on your physical body as well as mentally, especially as we're dealing with back to school and then the holidays right around the corner. Also, rest and hydration are key.
Good morning, Vail.
Stevie Lee Woods presents Nashville Roadhouse Live, where country meets rock and roll.
It's where I drank my first beer, where I found cheese. tore it all to pieces. Join us every week for more live performances right here on Nashville Roadhouse Live.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Hi there! Are you ready to explore famous neighborhoods from New York City to Kentucky? Watch The Neighborhood with host Nicole Newman. Featuring famous people, unique history, and delicious places to eat and drink. Our viewers get an inside personal look at each neighborhood. With each episode we learn, grow, laugh, and live like a local, not just a visitor. Welcome to The Neighborhood. Check your local program schedule and tune in.
Good morning, Vail.
All you chocolate fans and football fans are going to like this next one. It's National Choose Your Chocolate Day, and we're going to flash back to a recipe for a chocolate football. Let's check it out.
Welcome back. We are in the kitchen. We've made so many delicious and savory treats this entire week for the big game on Sunday, but I'm going to show you how to make a football-themed dessert board. The centerpiece of this is an actual chocolate football, but we're going to go ahead and get started and make it like a buttercream, cream cheese type frosting consistency. So what you'll need for this is powdered sugar, cream cheese. We're going to use a whole block of cream cheese, plus about half a cup of butter, which is equivalent to 1 stick. Now you can use the unsalted. I like a little bit of salt with my sweets, so I chose to use the sea salted butter today. And then we're crafting and we're building because you have to make a football shape. So I've got all kinds of fun little tinfoil contraptions over here that I will show you how to use as we get started. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Our base is going to start with the cream cheese. So we've got 8 ounces of cream cheese. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. As you can see, it's definitely a little bit on the tight side. And just grab a knife here. Or we can use our scissors. We're gonna go ahead and cut the top of it off right here. There we go, just like that, perfect. Got that cut off. We're gonna open it up. And the beauty of using cream cheese, we can literally just dump it into our bowl. So all you'll need is a large mixing bowl. You may need 2 for later, but I'll show you with all of our tinfoil contraptions what we're gonna use there. So we've got the cream cheese out. You want it to sit out for a bit for room temperature. We probably let it sit out for about 15 minutes here. And we're just gonna go ahead and start to fluff it up just a little bit. So we're just fluffing it, and you can put it on a low temperature so that it doesn't go flying all over the place. And as you can see, if it was a little softer, it'd be a little bit easier, but that's okay because we really just want to get the consistency so that other ingredients can mix in with it. It's looking good to me here. It's okay that we've got a bunch in our mixers here. So then we're gonna go ahead and add our butter, and our butter has been sitting out as well. This is also softened. We're gonna make sure everything softens up so we can mix it together, and then we're gonna put it in the fridge so that it can actually take shape and make the football that I cannot wait to show you how to do. It's gonna be a fun one. All right, so we've got this butter in here, and this is a half a cup of butter, which is equivalent to 1 stick exactly. So we're gonna go ahead and get that a little bit mixed in. And as you can see, because that butter is nice and soft, it's blending in really, really nicely here. There you go, and you just kind of keep it going just like that. So we've got our cream cheese and butter mix. Now it is the big game, which means calories don't count on this day. So this is definitely one that you can indulge in. We've got our cream cheese and our butter. So you're thinking, how do I make that sweet? Well, not to fear, powdered sugar is here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add 2 cups of powdered sugar in here. And when I add powdered sugar, because it does tend to create like a cloud when you start using an electric mixer with it, I like to kind of add it in increments. So we're gonna get 1 full cup to start. We'll probably do this about 4 times because I'll divide it in half and we'll pour it in and just incorporate it in nice and slowly. And you know, it really doesn't matter. Like, if your cup is a little bit full, that's okay, because who doesn't like more sugar? If you're a sugar fiend like I am, to me, this is delicious. So we're just gonna add a little bit in here, and we're just gonna start going just like that, right? So we've added a little bit in, making sure that it doesn't go everywhere. Probably risky that I decided to wear black today on the day that I'm working with powdered sugar, but that's okay. We'll add a little bit more in here just at a time. And we're just gonna keep adding and folding and mixing just like that. Here we go. We'll go up a little bit. There we go. And it's looking great, making a mess here. But if you're not making a mess in the kitchen, are you actually cooking? That's what I always like to say. So we're just gonna add a little bit more in there. As you can see it, I love the smell of powdered sugar. You smell candy and treats and memories as you are smelling the powdered sugar as it's mixed in with the cream cheese and the butter. And we're gonna add a little bit more here. Just go nice and slow. So I'm on the lowest setting on my electric mixer here, and we're just gonna blend it. Try to make sure that we're keeping it in the center of the bowl. It's looking great. I'm just gonna keep it going. Rock and roll, looking awesome there. We'll add a little bit more in and just keep mixing and blending and mixing and blending until we've got 2 cups of sugar in our bowl here. Well, try not to make a mess, but you know what? It is what it is. Probably should have worn the apron today. So we're just gonna keep on blending and mixing. It's getting thicker. You can see the consistency changing there. Looking great. All right. All right, so that's our first cup of sugar. Here we are, just partying it up in the kitchen. Watch out for all of that white flaky goodness, which happens in the snow here on the slopes and in the kitchen with all of this delicious powdered sugar here. So we got about another cup, adding that in, and then we're almost done because this is just going to be the basis of our football, and then we put it in the fridge, let it chill, and we just keep it going. Now, if I had a helper in the kitchen, like a Kevin or a Ross or Gretchen, I would be having them actually consistently pour the sugar in as I blend it. But since it's just me here, I don't want to make too much of a mess, even though I think it's probably too late for that. We're just going to add a little bit in increments at a time. So we're just going to keep it going just like that. And don't worry, it cleans up really easy. Looking good, looking good. I'm just gonna hold this in place, and we're gonna add a little bit more sugar in. Probably dangerous, this could spin out of control here, but here we go. It's called being innovative and efficient in this one-woman show that we've got going on. But as you can see it, like I'm trying to keep the powdered sugar away from the edges of the bowl and mixing it in, but it looks like a great frosting. And this is actually the basis of a buttercream frosting, which is great. If you wanted a little bit more butter flavor, we'd put more butter in it and less cream cheese. All right, all of the sugar is in there. But any sort of frosting that you're making always starts with the butter and the powdered sugar, and you just whip it to your desired texture that you want. And we got the last of it in there. Okay. Looking great, looking great. All right, now here is the fun part. I want to lick my fingers, but I'm going to wait till the end. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to separate and pull 3 tablespoons aside. So if you have a plastic bag, or what I did is I took tin foil inside of a cup, because we're going to make like a little piping contraption here. It does not have to be perfect. So we're going to put about 3 tablespoons in here, and it's nice and light and fluffy. That looks good to me. I think we'll be good. Add a little bit more for good's sake. There we go. Just adding it in, and then we're going to set it aside because we're going to use that later. And I'll show you what we're going to use with it later. So now here's the best part. Chocolate. A football is made out of brown leather, so we are going to make this chocolate and delicious. So what I did was I took Oreo cookies, or a chocolate sandwich cookie, and I crushed it up in my blender. So there are about 20 cookies in this here, and then we're just going to incorporate that into our mix. So it looks like a delicious milkshake, Oreo cookie shake here, but it's not. It is an Oreo cookie frosting, but it's going to turn into a football dip pretty quickly here. So we've got that going. It's looking great. I'm going to add in the rest of it, just like that. Try not to make a big giant mess, but here we are in the kitchen making a mess. All right, stirring it all up, looking great. Keeping it going, adding a little bit more in here to finish it out. Okay, that looks like Oreo cookie goodness, but the trick to make it chocolatey, we're adding some additional chocolate syrup into it. So you can measure this out if you want to, and in theory, you could do about 2 tablespoons, but that's what 1 tablespoon looks like in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some more, because why not? All the chocolate that you want there. So that's just Hershey's chocolate syrup there. You can use any kind that you want to, sugar-free if you want to, but if you wanted to make it less sugary, but what's the point, right? So we're just going to go ahead and continue to stir it. Just blend it all together, and guess what? We are almost done with our actual, I guess you could call it the base of our football, with what is going to make the shape. Man, that looks good. I can smell the chocolate, the powdered sugar, and then, of course, Oreo cookies. Who doesn't love a good creamy Oreo cookie? All right. And I didn't do anything special with the Oreos in the blender. Actually, I just put them right in. It's got all the frosting in it that you would need, so it adds an extra layer of sweetness. Now, here is the fun part. We've got a container. You can take a bowl if you want to, or this container, and we're going to grab plastic wrap. And you're going to put that plastic wrap on the inside of this container. Now, I like to do one this way and then one this way, just to make sure that we're covering all surfaces. And I've got to pull this out here. Always fun working with plastic wrap here, right? You pull it out. Not the best for the environment, but when you're in the kitchen, sometimes it is necessary. So we made a little nest with our plastic wrap. And then I'm going to move this here. We're going to grab a spoon out of our handy dandy silverware drawer. And then you're just going to scoop this in here. So you're going to scoop it, and you want to make sure that it's like, I chose this tin foil because it actually is a little bit of a football shape, but we're going to be shaping this anyways. So if you have a bowl at home is just as fine. You can just make sure that it's in a nice round bowl, but I like to get something as close to a football shape as I can, and then we're going to shape it when we let it set in the fridge, which you want to let set for about an hour. So we'll make sure that we definitely have a part 2, because man, this dessert board and the finished product is going to be incredible. I cannot wait to show you what it's going to look like. So stay tuned. We will show you part 2 very shortly, and we'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
It's time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
How do you make Anthony Edwards the face of your franchise if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? We'll get into that.
And we say hello to our good friend Matt Verderam, who hangs out with us from SI.com. Their NFL insider, one of them, is hanging out with us on the program today. Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She put up a 40 burger, hits the game-winning three as time expires. Let's turn our attention to the Denver Broncos, one of the NFL's most dysfunctional situations.
The Sports Wrap with Jason Page.
From small towns to big cities and everywhere in between, we're covering the great things that are happening right now in the USA. This is Positively America with Ernie Anastas.
Each week, we're going to focus on the great things that are happening every day in the USA. We'll feature change makers.
In every older person, there's a younger person saying, how did this happen?
Innovators.
I talk about design the way some people might talk about like the person they're in love with.
Doers and dreamers.
You can use that recognition to pay it forward.
Ordinary Americans accomplishing extraordinary things.
When you smile, you receive one back most of the time.
We're going to prove to you that optimism and hope are paving the way to an even brighter tomorrow.
We've got a lot of programs that are specifically focused on the children of our fallen heroes.
At Positively America, our mission is to feature good news.
For the latest and greatest trends in pop entertainment, Popstar Today brings you compelling celebrity lifestyle stories that matter most to you. From movies, music, TV, and streaming shows, to fashion, social media influencers, and the latest on who is seeing who. Join host Elizabeth Stanton as she digs deep and dives in. This is Popstar Today.
Good morning, Vail.
Wow, Kim, that football looks great. Let's check out the rest of the recipe.
Welcome back. It is part 2 of the football dessert board. And who doesn't love a good board? I know we've had butter boards all year long, charcuterie boards, and now dessert boards. They are all the rage, especially when they're football themed. I'm going to show you what we've done so far and how to make this look presentable and fun for your friends to eat. Now, if you recall, we made our delicious cream cheese, butter, powdered sugar, Oreos, and chocolate syrup mix. So it's brown like a football, and we froze it, or we chilled it for about an hour in the fridge. I put it in this tinfoil container to kind of begin the beginning shaping of a football. Now we used the plastic wrap, and that kind of helps us with the shaping here. And it's okay if you've got little different ridges in it, because we're going to actually cover it to make it even more football obvious with chocolate chips. So we've got a platter here. You want to make sure that your platter is ready to go, because you're going to put all kinds of things on top of it. We've got it shaped a bit like a football, so we're going to put it in the center there, and then you're just going to pull the plastic wrap off. Now you want to do this kind of quickly because you don't want it to melt quite yet while you're shaping it. So my hands are about to get really messy here, but that's okay. So it kind of looks like a football. We're just going to shape it around. You just pat it, make it look nice like a football shape, just like that. All right, we're shaping it, shaping it, shaping it. Does it look even enough for me? I'm happy with it. We're going to go with that, and I'm going to take my fingers and wipe the chocolate off. But you know what? We're about to get even more messy, because I've got about a cup of semi-sweet mini chocolate chips here. We're just going to go ahead and dump it on top, and then you're just going to press it into the mixture, the delicious creamy mixture that we've got going on here. So I'm just going to keep sprinkling and sprinkling and sprinkling. All right. Getting it in there, we're pushing it in. Make sure you get the front of it, because that's important. And you can just kind of like dump it through this cup and press it into your chocolate mixture, your chocolate, cheesy, sugary, buttery, all of the things that we love that make things indulgent. All the flavors are in this dip itself. And the best part is it's no bake. So if you are not sure how to bake a dessert, this is the dessert you should make for your friends and your family. We're just going to keep on pouring those chocolate chips all around the side of it. My hands are looking covered in sweets. I might have to lick them later when we're done. So we're just covering it with these chocolate chips here. And the best part about while you're adding the chocolate chips, it makes it easier to shape it because it's not as sticky to your fingers. So I'm just going to keep on going. We're getting done with it there all the way around. And you just kind of keep pouring those chocolate chips on it. Looking great. Looking like a football. I don't know if you can tell, but I can tell it. I'm getting excited. I think this is going to be the hit of the party. Just saying. You know, it puts a little bit of time into it, but it's actually quite easy. If you're not good at baking, this is the way to go. A block of cream cheese, a stick of butter, 2 cups of powdered sugar, blend it all together. Take about 20 Oreos or chocolate sandwich cookies. Blend those up. You can crush it with a rolling pin if you don't have a blender that you trust. But we're just kind of keep putting all of that in here. All right, it's looking good. You know, sometimes if you can't get all the way to the sides, that's okay too. We've got a little bit of chocolate chips left, so no chocolate chip left behind is how I look at it. All right, we're doing that. All right, squeezing it, just pushing it all the way in there, shaping it like a football. Looking good. Now I'm gonna do a quick hand rinse because next we've got to decorate. So here we go. Rinsing those hands off. Perfect. Stepping away. All right, we're going to dry my hands because next we're going to do the fun part, and that is piping the laces on. Now, a typical football has about eight laces across, 1 down the center, so the seam, and that's just to help with spiraling. You kind of know where to grip the football. It's okay if you can't get that many out of here. But what we did earlier, before we added in the chocolate syrup and the crushed Oreos, we actually took about 3 tablespoons of our mixture ahead of time. And if you have a plastic bag, that works best, but if you don't, that's okay. You're just going to take, what we did is we put a tin foil into a cup, and then we piped we scooped 3 tablespoons of the mixture into the cup. And that keeps it white because you remember we started with butter. There we go, looking great. We started with the butter, the cream cheese, and the powdered sugar mixture. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently apply pressure, and we're just going to keep it going. We're just going to make it look like a football. Like just dolloping it on just like that, and you can just kind of spread it apart. And it's okay. We'll probably do about, I'd say for this football, we're just going to do about 3 laces. So we're going to just squeeze one across the middle, and last one there. You have to be careful. Those chocolate chips are tricky. They'll come and get stuck for you. All right, we're just going to use our fingers there. And you know what? If we don't like how it looks, that's okay, because lo and behold, we've got a knife. And you can just shapen that up just like that, make it look nice and pretty. Now you want this mixture to be a little bit more room temperature so that you can shape it a little better. There we go. Looking like a football. It's okay if it's not perfect, because let's be honest, the second this hits the table, this is going to be gone anyways. All right, you're just going to shape that up. We've got 3 laces across the top here. Looking beautiful, looks great. And now the fun part, adding the desserts to the board. And you don't even have to worry about trying to clean up these chocolate chips if you wanted to, which I'm doing, scooping them into the middle here. All right, we've got 2 different kinds. I've got the chocolate kind, and I've got the vanilla or the honey kind. And these are going to represent both teams playing each other. So we're just going to decorate the outside of our board. Plus, it really doesn't matter what you want to decorate this with. You can do candy. You can do 2 different colors of candy. But I would say if you're playing with a football, just get 2 different kinds of the candy or the cookies or whatever so that you can represent different teams on the board here. All right. So we're just going to sprinkle some of these chocolate graham cracker cookies here. You can do vanilla wafers, regular graham crackers, cinnamon sugar flavored graham crackers. And just kind of sprinkle these all along the board here. All right. We're going to do lots and lots of chocolate teddy bears on this side. And then I'm moving on to the honey. We've got gummy bears. We've got pretzels, because sometimes people like a combination of salty and sweet. It's really whatever you want to put on this board. It's going to be delicious. I cannot wait to dig into it. I know on the in-between, while I was doing my cleanup, I was licking the bowl. It was so good. I cannot wait for you to try this and to make it at home. It's quite easy. All right. We're putting in these honey flavored. So we've got 2 different colors here. Now it looks good, right? We love a honey graham cracker or the Teddy Grahams, and we love a chocolate Teddy Graham as well. But looking at the board, it's not fun and vibrant. So I typically would advise, as you can see, I might like the honey grahams a little bit better than the chocolate ones. So I would add, we're gonna go ahead and add some of these pretzels in too, just to put a little bit of fun here. And I'm gonna just bookend my pretzels on either side of these teddy bears here, just like that. All right, looking good. This can represent, I don't know, face masks, goalposts, the net that catches the ball after they kick it through for the extra point. Whatever you want. I think it's just fun to be creative, and this is the best part. Now, who doesn't love a giant bag of gummy bears? Because I'm going to tell you, you're going to be refilling this plate. That chocolate is going to be there. All right. And the best part, all of the different colors, because it represents all of the fans that are sitting in the stands. All shapes and sizes, races, football fans, you know, it is what it is. Not everybody is going to be a 49ers, and as I'm dropping gummy bears all over the place, not everyone's going to be a 49ers fan or a Chiefs fan, but everybody is a football fan if you're going to the game. You like fun, excitement. Look at that. It's just looking quite delicious. Sweet, savory, mostly sweet and a little bit savory. So we're gonna sprinkle all of these on here, and you can just do whatever you want to, you know, go to town. You can go to a specific candy store and go with colors if you want to, or just go to the grocery store and get whatever options that they have available there. You can put different kinds, but I'm going with the teddy bear theme because I just think it's fun. It represents all of the fans in the stands and on the field. So happy Football Sunday. Enjoy this delicious dessert tray. You can make it in all kinds of shapes. You could do a teddy bear for Valentine's Day, whatever you want. But either way, I can't wait to dive in. I think I'm going.
Good morning, Vail.
We are here at Rugs Benedict in Avon, Colorado, joined by Mandy Benedict herself. Mandy, how are we doing?
Fantastic. Having a great morning.
Love it. And today we're talking hardwood floors, something very important in a house that people are going to need. What do we have behind us here?
So we are doing a tremendous amount of hardwood flooring right now, and we have literally thousands of options to choose from, but we're really great at discovering what are the things that are most important for your household or your business or the space that the wood floor is going to go into. We have every style, every color, every width, everything that's, you know, sleek, contemporary, modern, to mountain modern, to rustic, all the styles, all the colors.
Love that. And so in addition to having everything, you also have the experts to help get it in there. Can you talk a little bit about what that process is like?
Yes. So our employee installers are, I think, the greatest benefit that Rugs Benedict offers is really highly educated installers. They're master craftsmen. They are so good at their work. And if you ever read our 5-star reviews on Google, pretty much every review is like, the installers were amazing. They were amazing. They were amazing. It was so nice to have them in my home. And they're just really talented, but they're also very skilled on what's going to work in this mountain environment and what are the things we need to be mindful of as far as humidification. And we live in a dry climate, so we need to take that into account with wood.
Definitely. And what do people need to know, whether they're replacing hardwood or getting it for the first time? But what do people need to know when they're kind of making this purchase?
There are a handful of things that are pretty important, but for each house, it's going to be a little different. So we come out and do free estimates in your home, and we'll kind of let you know through the process of, hey, this is what we're going to focus on for your home, and these are the directions that we would recommend it being laid, and that sort of thing.
Definitely. I understand these are meant to last, right? These are meant to be in the home for quite some time.
Yes, this is not a disposable thing, so you want to make sure that it gets installed properly and that you have a product that really fits your needs and the needs of the home.
And especially in kind of an active lifestyle community here, what are the benefits of hardwood?
Hardwood is just, it's natural, it's beautiful, it's very much our mountain lifestyle of just natural beauty, and it can be very easy to clean and maintain with the proper education on how to do that.
Perfect. Anything else I should ask you? Anything else people should know about hardwood?
Just come in and explore. We have really all the options to fit any budget, any style, any look that you're after.
Definitely come check out Rugs Benedict here in Avon, Colorado for all your flooring needs and so much more.
I'm Clinton Griffiths, the host of Ag Day Television. Get the latest news about crops, livestock, rural living, and so much more from our award-winning team. Follow the food you eat from the field to the store to your table every day, because what's happening on the farm matters to you and your family. Watch Ag Day weekdays.
In America's heartland, living close to the land, there's a love for the country and a pride in the brand. In America's heartland, living close to the land. In America's heartland, close to the land.
Every day around the world, when tragedy, danger, and disaster strike, when life and death hang in the balance, we look to the heroes among us.
Good morning, Vail.
Summiting Mount Everest is a huge feat, and our very own Avisha Scarborough talked to a Vail local who attempted it. Let's check this out.
Mount Everest is as unforgiving as it is irresistible to the throngs of climbers who visit every year with dreams of making it to the top. Dr. John Kedrowski from Vail was one of those visitors with big dreams in 2012 when he arrived at Everest for the first time. He almost made it to the top when a disastrous windstorm developed.
I had to quit because it was blowing 100 miles per hour, and I helped a couple other people to safety that night, and then I went back to base camp and rested for like 3 days, but I was like 800 feet from the summit and had to turn around. So basically, actually, when you look at this photo, how close I was to the summit, turned around, went back, rescued a few people, brought them to safety with some other Sherpas and friends that were up there, and then I got back to the base camp and thought, oh, this is it for me.
But an invitation from a great Sherpa changed his plans.
One of the Sherpas named Jangbu was the Sirdar, which he's the head of all the Sherpas that were overseeing the other members that had hired a Sherpa. And 2 of our members were still in camp 2, and he was in base camp with me, and he's like, hey, John, like, I have to go back up to oversee these other clients anyway with their Sherpas. What are you gonna do? Do you wanna climb back up? I know you don't have anybody to climb with. Do you wanna go with me? And I was like, yeah. Because it would be like if LeBron James asked you to play horse, like, would you say no? Like, this guy Jangbu had summited 12 times.
Kedrowski was one of the lucky ones who made it to the summit that season. 7 others died just days earlier from exposure, exhaustion, and other injuries related to high altitudes. The list of ways Mount Everest can kill you is long, but that didn't stop Kedrowski from returning 6 more times, and in some cases bringing some high-profile friends along with him. Here he is with Grammy-nominated artist Mike Posner in 2022, and with fitness entrepreneur Devin LeVake in 2024.
Good morning from the top of Mount Everest.
Who set the world record for highest altitude backflip while on the summit. Kedrowski has turned his love of adventure into a lucrative business as a one-on-one guide.
A long-term goal of Mount Everest is $250,000 with the right program.
Some critics say that summiting Everest has become increasingly accessible to wealthy and inexperienced climbers, causing overcrowding and deadly traffic jams. Kedrowski agrees and says respect for traditional climbing methods has been lost in recent years.
It wasn't these big siege tactics where the expedition is a huge operation. There's a bunch of Sherpas carrying loads to camp 2 and 3 and 4. They're carrying oxygen up there. The early expeditions, they didn't really have as much Sherpa support on a lot of them, and people weren't paying much, so it was before commercialization, so the mountaineers would climb and still take a rest day or two, but then they'd carry another load and carry it up to Camp 2, and then they'd come back, and then they'd maybe, instead of resting for 3 or 4 days, they'd rest for a day, and then they'd go back up, carry another load. And so that traditional expedition style is being lost and being absorbed by commercialization now, where the goal has been now to make it as easy on the client as possible, which then lends itself to allowing everybody and anybody to go. And that is leading to problems, though, in Nepal especially, because Nepal is taking the money for the permits and the expeditions from the companies that are bringing people there. The companies are charging a bunch, but it's also not allowing people to screen their clients. So anybody thinks they can just, I see a photo on Instagram and I can go climb Everest. And that's just not true.
Are you part of the problem of the commercialization?
I mean, I'm bringing people there, yes, but I feel like my ethical duty is the models of which and the ethics of which I stand for, and the preparation for clients is within the realm of safety and leave no trace ethics and ethics for the mountain, picking up your trash, and the style of climbing, meaning like, for example, if you leave the South Col at 7 or 8 p.m. to summit, you're summiting at sunrise, and then you're getting down and back to the high camp before 9 or 10 a.m. And that's how you're supposed to climb Everest. A lot of these teams that come with people that are either not fit enough, climbing too slow, haven't properly acclimatized, we're taking 3 times that long, and then they run out of oxygen, and they're just not prepped in the ethics of how to properly climb the mountain.
Knowing how to properly acclimatize to high altitudes can mean the difference between life and death.
Everest takes a long time for your body to adjust to the altitude by going high, sleeping low, going higher, sleeping lower, and it's a 4 to 6 weeks process. People don't understand what true acclimatization is, and they'll go and try to climb to Camp 1, Camp 2. They'll stay there. They won't come back to and rest and recover. Then they'll go up and try to climb to 3 and 4 and go higher, and then just try to summit without coming down to rest and acclimatize. And so that's becoming a problem, because then people, when they're unacclimatized, take too long on summit day, and they get into trouble, and then they steal bottles of oxygen that they need that are left up there from other expeditions that have carried it up there for their summit. So, last year we had a scenario where we had 70 some bottles stolen from the high camp by teams that were up there before they should have been up there. This year we got netting and locked them up so that no one could steal our bottles. And that's starting to become an ethical problem that Nepal is still letting happen, because they'll take permits, money from anybody, and they'll allow anybody to come, versus the north side of Everest on Tibet doesn't allow it that way.
I reached out to Thakur Raj Pandey, Senior Vice President of the Nepal Mountaineering Association, to get his response to claims that Nepal issues too many permits, leading to deadly overcrowding. Pandey agrees there is overcrowding, especially in May and June. However, he says the Nepalese government is starting to implement new policies that will help, such as the one permit policy, where a single authority would be responsible for issuing and managing all permits for a given region, making it easier to track climber information and enforce regulation. Another new policy Pandey mentioned was requiring climbers to have climbed a minimum of a 7,000-meter mountain before attempting Everest. He says this will divert climbers to other mountains in Nepal. Kodrasky thinks this is a good solution, not only for overcrowding, but for training as well.
Train mountains with mountains. You should train for the highest mountain in the world by climbing actual mountains. The gym can kind of help. Step ups, weightlifting, but there's nothing better than going out and doing the real thing to prepare for the real thing. I think that's very true with life.
There are many similarities between life and mountain climbing.
The summit of Everest! So awesome to be up here!
Which may explain why so many people risk everything to do it. Kodrasky says the mountain is a metaphor for life's challenges and obstacles, and mastering the mountain means mastering one's own mind by pushing through fear and uncertainty.
Did it! Now we gotta get down safe.
He says the mountains belong to everyone, but you just have to be safe, patient, and well prepared to make it to the top. For TV8 in Vail, I'm Avija Scarborough.
Good morning, Vail.
first game every one of us played in the schoolyard. Turn up the degree of difficulty to maximum, and then let loose some of the fastest and most agile athletes in the world to go one-on-one in what you have is the most extreme pursuit contest you've ever known. It's intense, it's addictive, and there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
If you haven't seen World Chase Tag before, here's how it works.
2 teams of up to 6 athletes compete in a series of one-on-one chases. Each chase lasts up to 20 seconds and has 1 chaser and 1 evader.
Opportunity to points on the board! Oh!
Whoever wins the duel stays on as the evader, and teams get 1 point for each evasion they make.
And it looks like the opening point to this contest.
It's the best of 16 chases to win the match, with a sudden death chase-off required to break any ties. It's win or go home from now on. Don't miss it.
Experience the beauty of fall on the rails of the Leadville Railroad. Take in the cool mountain breeze as you climb to 11,000 feet to watch the vibrant reds, oranges, and golds of fall come alive. Enjoy delicious hot beverages, learn some history, and relax with family and friends. Create fall memories in the heart of the Rocky Mountains. Offering daily trips, the weekend specials sell out fast. To secure your seat, book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Coming up this season on Ready, Set, Renovate, we see one couple fall in love with a waterfront fixer-upper.
It sort of wrapped its arms around us and said, you want me, and we did.
And watch as another battles over the budget.
We're trying to look through and see where we can trim at this point.
Are you looking to trim it, Ginger?
No.
No. Construction pros show us the right way to renovate.
Well, we had to do a roof over. We had to hand build a lot of the trusses.
As we're putting the thin set down, the self-leveler has a little clip that clips up underneath the edge of the tile.
This is Necklace. This easy-to-use, non-surgical alternative improves the appearance of sagging skin around your neck and jawline. Made from medical-grade tape, Necklace lasts up to 10 hours, giving you a firmer, smoother look all day long.
This is the one that works.
Starting on one side, peel off to expose adhesive and affix it beneath your earlobe. Stretch the strip around the back of your neck until it reaches the other side. Remove the white backing from the other end of the strip and attach under the other earlobe. Go ahead and take your hair down.
Wow, look at that! Necklace really is the one that works.
Women everywhere are thrilled with the results.
Necklace is my time machine and I'm loving life again.
Necklace is way better than surgery. It's cheaper and it's easier.
Oh wow, to fight 6 years off in here.
Well, I like it. It's like a mini facelift.
Oh, it totally works.
I think I need a box or 2.
Use the on-screen QR code or visit sagnomore.com to order now. We even give you a money-back guarantee. Try Necklace today.
Good morning, Vail.
As a college student myself, I know saving for college is a nightmare. And we talked to somebody from Fidelity Investments about how to get started on the process. Let's check this out.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to the show. Are you a parent who's worried about how you're going to save for college, and especially with those kiddos at home? Well, Fidelity Investments has some great tips and tricks for you, and I'm joined by Corey Latham. Corey, thank you so much for meeting me this morning.
Thank you for having me here today.
Now, can you give us some more information on what your role specifically is?
Yeah, so I work within our 529 college savings plan. So what I try to do is just focus on making sure that we're providing the best possible experience for those 529 investors.
And can you tell us more about the 2024 college study that has just been done and the data behind it?
Yeah, of course. So what our study found is that more parents are saving for college, and that they're actually even prioritizing saving for college higher than saving for retirement. While saving for retirement has always been a top priority for parents, it's not surprising to see them put more of an emphasis on college savings these past few years. And what our study revealed is that parents continue to agree that the value of college is worth the cost. But most parents either don't know or honestly are just simply guessing at what that cost actually is.
Now, how is the rising cost of college affecting parents in their saving goals?
Yeah, what we're finding from the study is that many parents are worried about that rising cost of college. And in fact, more than 1 in 4 claim that inflation is their most significant barrier to saving. And also, while parents say they are prioritizing their child's college education, they are falling short of their goals. And in reality, balancing of the day-to-day expenses with long-term savings, that can be a daunting task. So not only is saving for college getting harder, but as costs continue to rise, parents are increasing the amount they plan to chip in, and as a result are changing how they save to meet their goals.
And what are some key factors that parents should plan for as they're saving for college expenses and post-college expenses?
Yeah, we would recommend parents should consider a few things. First, have a plan. Most parents do expect to pay for at least some of their children's education, but many are not on track to meet their goal. Having a plan in place can help, and if you don't have one, Fidelity can help you create one. Second, talk to your children. The study found parents who have talked to their children about costs and expectations, they tend to have more saved. And then finally, consider saving in a tax-advantaged account like a 529. The study found parents saving in a 529 were more likely to be closer to their savings goals compared to parents not utilizing one.
Now, what are some common concerns when it comes to planning for college?
We do hear some, and I would say the most common ones would be, what happens if I don't either use all of the funds or say that my child chooses not to go for a traditional college path? Well, thanks to recent legislations, 529s have become even more flexible and have helped ease some of those concerns. So for example, 529s can now be used for many expenses beyond college tuition, like K through 12 tuition, a vocational or a technical school. You can even pay back a portion of your student loans. And starting this year, and under certain conditions, up to $35,000 can be transferred over to a Roth IRA for that child, and that's going to help give them a jump start on saving for retirement.
Now, I hope that you've inspired a lot of parents at home to look into all of these great options. Where can they go for more information?
Yeah, you'd want to go right to fidelity.com/529.
Corey, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, giving us all this great information, and thanks for the hard work that you do representing our parents and our students.
Well, we appreciate that, and thank you so much for having me here today.
Make sure that if you are a parent at home who's worried about how you're going to cover the cost of college, you look into Fidelity Investments because they've got some great options for you. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so don't go anywhere.
Good morning, Vail.
One of the longest-running syndicated television series is back, America's Black Forum, a weekly series highlighting the latest in our lifestyles, business, entertainment, and finance. We introduce you to entrepreneurs who are making their mark in the business world and leaders who are fighting for change.
Welcome to America's Black Forum.
Tune in each week to know what's happening in our world today on America's Black Forum.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
Welcome to Nantucket Rope Bracelets. All of our stylish bracelets are handmade in our Nantucket workshop, using only the best non-shrinking line with soft, flexible finish. Find us at NantucketRopeBracelets.com and order your beautiful piece from Nantucket today.
I'm Danella Richard. I've made a career traveling the world. I've worked for some of the biggest names in travel, and now I've traded in my business suit for a swimsuit. Swimming with the sharks, swinging at the edge of the world, throwing back a few shots, or shall I say spirits. Woo. Eating some of the best cuisine. and even making a few furry friends along the way. I invite you to come along with me and discover the world.
Join us in exploring the everyday lives of community members here in the Vail Valley. Hear their inspiring stories of how they came here, their contributions to our community, and why they chose to call this place home. We want you to be one of our neighbors. If you would like to be featured or nominate someone to be featured, please send an email to danielle@tv8vail.com. We look forward to featuring your story right here on TV8.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz, where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Yeah, man.
Good morning, Vail.
Thank you for joining me on this fabulous Monday edition of Good Morning Vail. And tomorrow we have Chris Romer from the Vail Valley Partnership, so you don't want to miss that. Have a great rest of your Monday, Vail.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to